Hi everyone, I'm Steve Main here with Jesse Townsend. Jesse's a personal trainer at multiple facilities, but right now he's at Parkway Athletic Club. You can look them up online, see what all the different programs they have and classes and so on. If you want to reach out to me for any reason, you can get me at stevemain.com. So welcome, Jesse.
Yeah, Steve, thanks for having me. Great to be here.
Okay, let's talk about legs. It's something that is pro- maybe, depending on your age too, probably the most important area to exercise. And it's one that maybe especially men neglect and don't do, but it's probably, and even as you get older, working your legs is more important than anything else probably because it's such big muscles in there. So what do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely, man. I agree with the things you said. Right. So legs are really important to work, and you see, I mean, just in gyms and settings where people are exercising, legs, I think, are, a group that people can fit into where either you're doing, some leg workouts and you have, workouts that are good for either, growing or creating mobility or whether it's, correcting imbalances or whatever it may be, you have something going on for legs. Or there's a lot of, people who skip the leg days, right? And there's a ton of good reasons why, I'm always going to recommend to everybody that they do leg workouts. Bottom line for like to start with is, obviously to have a balanced exercise program. And this is kind of where I start with people on the leg thing. It means on the fitness level and on the muscular level, it means working out every muscle group, right? So just to cut it in is something on a balanced level. So you create, this balanced body instead of having imbalances, where that's usually where you start in a fitness program or an exercise program, is with some imbalances. So really important that you do it from the beginning. No reason to skip it, even on weeks that you feel like maybe you want to just get another, chest day or arm day in or whatever it may be. Really important that legs get hit, other things too, right? So increasing testosterone, right? So yes, definitely doing these deadlifts and some of these compound movements that legs can, have you do, or that you can work on, squats or, whatever it may be that's healthy and safe for you to do. T levels go up, right? So it's pretty much easy to say without all the exact science behind how much is released as far as testosterone that's stored in your legs and kind of how that all works. That's not really necessary to know, quite frankly, for most people. All you need to know is, legs equal more slabs of muscle, pretty much is how you can put it. So you work your legs and everything else that you're doing, it has a pretty profound effect and kind of, adds to the process of growing muscle everywhere else. So, that's the next part that people kind of miss out on if they're not doing legs. Is again, you might have trouble growing your chest, might have trouble growing back or arms or whatever it may be. Releasing that testosterone in your legs is going to do a lot and help a lot for putting more muscle on your body, right? Yeah, so those are a couple of things. The next one that I kind of think about for people that is important is, again, calories, right? So we are all using, gyms or home workouts or whatever it may be that we have access to that works for us. And the bottom line of what we're doing at the end of that whole workout experience that we're putting into our day is trying to effectively burn some calories. Yeah, build muscle and all these other things too. But at the top of the chart, it's really, exerting energy, getting yourself into a position where you can successfully burn, extra calories that you may have, or, burning calories to put you in, a mode where you're getting leaner and building muscle and stuff like that. So, definitely, bigger muscles basically require more energy, right? And that's kind of how it goes. So every pound of muscle burns approximately 50 calories a day at rest. So add a pound of muscle, and do these leg workouts to get you there and add the extra muscle that maybe you're missing by not doing them. And, simply adding, 10 pounds of muscle to your body over a long period of time, of course, not too short, but now you're burning a good amount of extra calories, just on that theory, right? Those are a few things. And then, hey, let's just face it, right? You won't look like a chicken, right? That's another thing about working legs that is important. So, we don't want to have, if we're going to be in a position where we're going to wear shorts or we're going to go to the beach again, the aesthetics for me, for what I do at this level of the game that I'm in, the aesthetics are still important. They definitely, for me, aren't top of the chart. But it's not, what I want, right? Most people, everybody has different reasons why they start doing these fitness programs and exercise programs. And, one of the parts is looking good, to feel good, right? And getting that experience, increasing your energy, feeling positive about, what you're doing for your body, and the looks kind of, add to that effect, right? So, simply put, right, we don't want to have chicken legs. We don't want to, be in the gym and have all these big other muscular body parts, and then, sort of have like these, again, just for the look, but then the balance part of it too, like I spoke in the beginning, right? We don't want to have muscular imbalances that can lead to, on a serious level, a lot of problems, injuries, mobility issues that would increase over time if you don't work this muscle group. So, yeah, ultimately, man, there's so many reasons. The list kind of keep going on. Those are probably the top couple that I would touch on for the purposes of this.
Well, I'm going to tell, also you want your body composition to improve. You want to get leaner, work your legs. You want to burn body fat, work your legs. You want to put muscle on, work your legs. But I'm going to tell you something that I'm doing that you're going to think is crazy / very unique and interesting. Jesse, I've been doing this since I was 15. Training hard. And I've learned so much now that I'm probably a little older than I look. I don't know what people would guess my age, but I'm probably older than I look. So I'm doing something very unique with my legs that I would have thought was crazy 25 years ago, 30 years ago. Just crazy. And that is, I've got kettlebells at home. I've got benches at home that I can do step-ups on. I'm working my legs 3 days in a row. Now, you're going, he's nuts, right? But it's at my age, I can't have the intensity level that I had 40 years ago. I can't exercise at that intensity level with the squats and so on, the joints. And so I've got the kettlebells there. I'll grab a 50-pound, 80-pound kettlebell, and I'll do sumo squats, and I'll do sumo deadlifts. I'll alternate sumo squat, sumo deadlift, rep by rep. And every time I go by that in my hallway, I'll do it. It's not intense. And you know what? It's working. Now, I take 4 days of rest, but to make up for not being able to train at that intensity level, I'll do it 3 days in a row. And I'm not recommending this. I'm an experienced lifter. I've been doing this, like I said, all my life, and I'm 60. So I'm not recommending this for anyone, but I'm saying I'm trying new crazy things. That's one of them, and I like it. I work my calves every day. I have a power plate at home. I get on that and work my calves. And I'll do step-ups. I'll do lunges with light weights. But for a 3-day period, I'll hit my legs. Am I killing them? No. But I'm compensating for that lack of intensity level 3 days in a row, and it feels like it's working. It feels good. It feels new. And then I'll take 3-4 days off and do nothing with them. So don't you find that interesting?
I do. It's interesting to me, not shocking. And the reason I say that is because I mean, after all these years of training myself and training so many other people and collecting so much information, kind of like I'll talk about just through my experience of, what my life has been like in this fitness career, and, from seeing other trainers and in teams of trainers work with people, and always talking to these like top level professionals and people that are a lot smarter than I am for sure and have a lot more knowledge than I do. And after all of that, I've come up with, basically things that don't always fit right into whatever workout programs may suggest, or whatever some physiology and some anatomy and some kines books might not say is absolutely correct. And the reason being is basically it comes down to this. Everything is customized in this workout game to fit the individual's needs. And I think for like what you're doing, it has a certain level of helping you to create, like consistent strength in these areas. You talk about working, not too hard, not pushing it, not doing so many compound movements. Basically what you're doing on a daily basis, if that's how you're doing your workouts, like you said, and have been doing them consistently, is you're giving your body a position where it's staying, or your legs rather, a position where they're staying mobile, and you keep creating like this continuous kind of, again, mobility, and the difference from that and just breaking them down on a big level with a lot of compound movements, which for some people at some points of life could be high risk, depending on what the movements are, regardless of how strong you are or how mobile you still are or what kind of flexibility levels you have. At some point in the game, what you do is you figure out, for people like myself, what I'm doing is figuring out for many, but for yourself, like what you've done over the years is figure out, hey, for me, this is what works. This is what I think is at this level, keeping my legs, where they need to be. And yeah, I think probably there's a point of greatness that's to that in respect to figuring it out as you go, and kind of, making the process complete to fit your needs.
Yeah. So anyway, I like it. I'm trying new crazy stuff with my diet and all that, getting my blood tested. And there's one coming out, or that's already come out, that you can go back and look at on glucose, checking my glucose, eating all these different foods and seeing what it does to my glucose. But this is a passion of mine. It's fun. And like I said, my intensity level's low. But, doing this, Jesse, it's almost like I feel like the soreness, because I went to football practice every day, and that was super duper intense. And that would wipe you out every day. But I'm noticing that it's kind of keeping me loose.
Yeah.
And, from the first day I do it to the second day to the third day, as I go through those 3 days, it's keeping my joints flexible. I'm feeling stronger, and I'm feeling, the joints just feel good, like I didn't do anything. And then, yes, I do get those 3 or 4 days rest, but very interesting. And my point is, your body changes, everyone's different, and I would have thought this was crazy. But thanks for being with us, Jess.
Yep. Thank you.
All right, we'll talk to you soon.
All right, Steve.